on this next episode of Outlook TV. House of Cheek threw some shade in Victoria.
The Vancouver Film School celebrates 30 years in Gastown.
Patrick Masse got his country on with his friends. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay. And lucky you're watching the Queer Magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to that other big old coast.
We're going to kick it off in Victoria, where House of Cheek performed Shade.
Ooh, bring out your fans, your palm fronds, and your pasties aplenty, because it was in Victoria.
Hi, we're here at Capitol Ballroom for a very special show. It is House of Cheek's production, Shade, a night of colorful burlesque. It is an intersectional, all-person of color cast and a POC-centered space with allies welcome. Let's go meet the cast and check out the show.
Shade is all about creating community and bringing people together. And when you create community, quite often you have to think about what that means and who's not included currently. So Shade, we took a huge step in looking at shows in Victoria, whether it's other burlesque shows or other like drag shows or comedy shows or like any kind of event that goes on. And Shade, we worked really hard to make it as intersectional as possible while also sticking to our main goal of creating visibility and giving the space and voice to people of color. It means a lot to have a POC-centered show. It gives you basically visibility and it gives a lot of validation. So with this show, one of my main goals was to create a cast and a set list where if you're in the audience, whether you're a burlesque performer or just a regular audience member, you can see yourself being represented on that stage.
It's really inspiring and I'm really grateful to be a part of a show like this. I have actually been going to shows with all POC casts like in Vancouver, and it's just so inspiring to see a full cast made up of POC people, because I feel like it's been so suppressed and it's something that we don't really see very much of.
Of an all POC-centered show. That is why I continue to produce them, and I produced them for the last, I want to say, 6 years of my career, because it's such an important pillar in our community, and it's a chance for us to get together and celebrate one another, celebrate our accomplishments, celebrate our bodies, and just the different ways that we live in the world.
My troupe is called Virgo Nation, and we are a group of all Indigenous female-identifying folks, and we are on a mission to reclaim Indigenous sexuality from the toxic effects of colonization. Being a part of a POC-centered show is incredibly validating. You know, when I first started doing burlesque, this sort of thing didn't exist back in 2010, and not even really 5 years ago. For an aspiring POC performer, know that you are not alone, that we are here and we see you, and if you feel that you do not have space, it is okay to create that space.
Shade, a night of colorful burlesque, has been amazing. I can't wait for the next show. This has been Kelly Legg with Outlook TV.
Let's head over to the Wise Hall in Vancouver for part of the Versus Festival.
I hope you have your snapping fingers ready, Rebecca, because it was a spoken word piece for trans people, two-spirited and queer. They all gathered together for Cultivate.
The Versus Festival in Vancouver celebrates spoken, sung, and written poetry and words. Today, the festival is presenting Cultivate, a showcase of trans, queer, and two-spirit artists. Today, we are meeting with some of the artists to discuss their work prior to the event.
Placing and removing Indians from cupboards. In the caucus, I would either be the Indian, the cabinet, or the fingers gracing figurines.
Today is the Cultivate Two-Spirit Trans Queer Showcase at the Wise Hall. It's pretty exciting. Shane invited me quite a few weeks ago. We've had an opportunity to do a couple performances together, and this one is just highlighting the storytelling and spoken word skills of 4 different two-spirit trans queer folks, including myself. I only recently started identifying as two-spirit non-binary within the past couple of years, and I feel like it's for me it's more a role that I play in the community, and it's an important one that bridges together both the feminine and masculine and non-binary aspects of gender.
And how did you select the artists that were here today?
The nature of the group is really about rethinking collaboration. I wanted to invite folks that I have had the opportunity to collaborate with. Two of the artists were key factors in the idea to create the communities of support to begin with, the talking circles. And the other artist is someone that I think is really great in their chosen field, and I was excited to give them an opportunity to branch out into another art form, much like I'm doing myself.
If you are really interested in my family and my culture, ask me how many dollars have I spent getting here.
It's a chapbook. It's called Hot Dog. It's my first book of poetry that I have decided to print off. This is actually exploring my family roots in Vancouver. I think there's a lot to be said about knowing your own story and where you come from and how that informs our way forward. And that being said, it's not just about me, it's about all of the things that we create together as a result, but it does go back to knowing yourself and knowing who you are and knowing your own desires.
Kept us safe from residential school, held children close, kept the bad men away. My grandmother and a few of my family members on my stepfather's side attended St. Mary's Residential School. It's also where I went to preschool because it was a building made for use by Indigenous communities. So after kind of starting to do more activist work, I wanted to revisit that space. And I can be your everything, but it will not serve us well. I refuse to just survive.
At the Wise Club in Vancouver, this is Ollie for Outlook TV.
It's time for us to take a little break now.
Rebecca and I have to practice our voguing. Face, face, come on, face, face, yeah? Beautiful. They love you.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Up next, we have a celebration of 30 years for the Vancouver Film School, and I heard a reporter got a little mo-cappy.
Oh yeah, he put on one of those motion capture suits and they made him into a monster.
Let's see.
A lot of members of the LGBTQ community work in the film industry and turn to the Vancouver Film School for their education. The VFS is celebrating its 30th anniversary and invited us. Let's check it out.
VFS has been in Gastown for 30 years, which is a huge accomplishment. And they've done some amazing embedded industries like Beyond Capture. Grabbing them. Yeah. If you've never seen motion capture before, it's where they wear a skin-tight suit, like this gentleman with markers all over him. And we take that and we put it into CG films.
What would you say to our sort of LGBTQ audience about this industry?
I think it's a great industry to get into because it is literally the great equalizer. Men can play women, black people can play white people, anybody can play anything. There's no sort of barrier to entry.
Day one, when they do your orientation, they explain right away that this is a very diverse place and that all genders and sexualities and everything are welcome here. All types of people, anybody's welcome here, and there's zero tolerance for anybody who believes differently.
I am yours. There's nobody else.
Me coming from the smallest town, which everyone was super accepting and great. I've never had been to a big city, so I didn't know how that was gonna come about. And I got here, and it's just a whole bunch of amazing. Everyone is so accepting. No one's putting labels on anything. No one is judging. I don't think anybody has time for it, really.
I think just being an artist in general has brought me a long way through my transition, as well as coming to VFS. About 5.5 years ago is when I began my transition, and part of the bigger narrative was changing my whole life, essentially. I was working at a pretty good job for the city for about 10 years, and they treated me very well, but it wasn't my passion. So I was hoping to turn my art into a full-time job, you know, my passion into my work kind of thing.
In the film school, they're super welcoming. I mean, there's all gender bathrooms everywhere. They have a ton of support through the HR and staff here at VFS and beyond as well. I mean, the whole games and animation multimedia industry is very, very open to the LGBT community.
Help me, I'm dying.
What?
Well, not right now. No. This is the name of the next show.
Oh. I heard that we had a chance to interview some RuPaul's Drag Race royalty. Katya.
Hey everybody, I'm here at the Vogue Theatre in Vancouver to watch Katya in her show, Help Me, I'm Dying. And she's starting off here in Vancouver and going all across Canada. So we got an interview with her. Watch us.
Vancouver. The elevator pitch for the show would be something to the effect of, imagine an All-Stars episode of I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant, shot through a kaleidoscope lens. Yeah, for a reasonable amount of time. No intermission. That's it. Well, I love to laugh. Who doesn't? But usually my intention on stage is not to make people laugh. I just want to make people think. I think as far as inspiration goes, I really like Maria Bamford, the comedian. I also love, like any kind of species in nature that changes its sex and then dies during procreation. You are a beautiful crowd. On the right, we have surly and irascible. On the left, we have bow-legged and plucky. In the middle, we have slick with indecision. And up top, we have sex offenders? Too early to tell, too early to tell. Okay, well, being an inspiration to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, I think the most worthwhile, inspirational little tidbit I could impart upon the masses is, don't be afraid to give up. No, seriously. I don't mean like, don't stop trying. But, it's sometimes you just have to call it quits, in a manner of speaking. And then, either try something else or don't. How about that? Yeah.
Он был по воле Бога скрипачом. Делился скрипкой, не несправедливо.
PP tapes.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, no official comment on the P tapes, but I thought of a great money-making venture. So, in the airport, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when I'm in the airport or like in a public restroom, I get incredibly pee shy, and I'll have to go to the bathroom so bad, but I just can't do it once I get to the urinal. So I thought about pumping in pee sounds to the, like on the speakers in the ladies' or men's room, really loud, so nobody has a problem. Yeah. What do you think?
I think that would work. It would help.
Elevator music for the bathroom, like Muzak for people who are pee shy. I think it would be good. I think it'd be great, actually. Yeah. Okay.
I think it would help a lot.
I could probably parlay it into an album, just all like sort of like personal bodily functions, like maybe set to like kind of an Enya tribal beat or something. The screeches from your gaping maw, now providing an unwelcome soundtrack to the new horror film that my life had become. If you get the opportunity to smell me in person, take it. With caution, the scent will linger for weeks. Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was an amazing show. You need to check Katya out online and get tickets. I'm Joseph Bossman for Outlook TV.
Let's go check out some bingo Palooza.
Not just any bingo, Rebecca. It was on May the 4th, so it was all Star Wars, all drag, all fabulous.
Excellent.
We're at Russian Hall in East Vancouver for a special event tonight called Bingo Palooza. Bingo Palooza is a special fundraiser for a Rainbow refugee family where all the proceeds go to help them get settled in Canada. We're going to meet the organizers and the amazing hostess, Carlotta Girl, so please join us.
Under the I-16, I-16.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, and you look fabulous.
Why, thank you. I'm supposed to be Princess Leia here this evening. We've got also a cameo appearance by my fantastic stormtrooper. And let's all say hello to R2-D2.
I had the body of a 20-year-old, yes, it's true, in the trunk of my car outside. Oh!
What are we going to be doing here tonight?
Winning some prizes, getting some people up on stage, playing some bingo, having a lot of fun, and hopefully saving the empire. We're doing a fantastic bingo event. We're going to win some great, beautiful prizes, and we're raising money for the Rainbow Refugee Society, which helps out people all over the world, really, find refuge here in Canada by helping them get out of their war-torn countries into a place where they feel accepted and loved by their friends and their family.
G59! G59!
Bingo Palooza, does it have any meaning, any significance?
We kind of came up with Palooza because, Palooza is kind of like just a little bit of everything random, and so we don't know what's going to happen. We know there's going to be bingo, there's going to be entertainment.
And now, how did this group all come together in the first place?
I was asked by a good friend of mine, she had joined, and she said, hey, do you want to help sponsor and support a refugee family? And I said, of course, and then some other people also were invited, and it ended up being 6 of us.
Can you tell us who are the beneficiaries tonight?
Our circle is putting this event on for a lesbian couple and their daughter who have fled their country. So they are living, from country to country right now, just trying to survive and, just waiting to get sponsorship here. 100% of what we make tonight goes directly to sponsoring and supporting this family.
23! Keep a bingo, 2 lines.
Great evening that was for Outlook TV. This is Angus Pratt in Vancouver.
We're going to have to take another little break now.
Rebecca, I'm getting a message. We're going to break.
I don't think that's how that works.
No?
No.
Oh.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
We're stopping all the way over to the eastern side of Canada, to Montreal, for the Two-Spirit event.
Yeah, it was at the McCord Museum. Ollie was there.
Hi guys, we're celebrating gender fluidity here tonight at the McCord Museum in Montreal for the Montreal Queer 2S event. The event is a collaboration with Fierté Montréal and Le Centre Never Apart, and it features an exhibition by Kent Monkman, performances by 2 spirited artists, a color by icon workshop, and a gender-neutral pop-up shop.
Tonight it's Montreal Queer 2S, 2S for Be Spirited. So it's inspired by our featured exhibition that is Shame and Prejudice from Kent Monkman. And Kent is a fantastic Canadian artist that is Cree, and he is also two-spirited. In his case, he actually has his alter ego whose name is Miss Chief Eagle Testicle. And she's featured quite a bit in his exhibition. Well, we are an historical museum, but a social history museum, and for us, it's very important to help visitors to become more and more open. This is kind of our key value at the museum.
We basically are doing a Color by Icons activation where you can color in Weewa, which is one of the first ever documented Two-Spirit folks, as well as Kent Monkman and his alter ego, Miss Chief Eagle Testicle. So it's really fun, and you'll see this wall growing and getting more colorful as people color more and more of the pages in. So it's really exciting.
Such a fun project. Michael came to me with this idea, and he said, let's try and do all these illustrations, and it was definitely a challenge, but it was fun. It was cool to take these images and make them into coloring book form. Like, it's something that I've actually wanted to do for quite a while, but have never had the chance to actually do it. So it was a good project.
It was a collaboration between me and Parneet, who's a very close kin of mine that I've known for many years. And I asked her to, attempt to get close to me while wearing moose antlers as strap-ons. And those are our actual harnesses that we use.
My brand Veri, it's a genderless brand and seasonless brand that is all made in Montreal. And it exists, it has been less than a year. Well, I think it's just not important to have labels on our clothes. There shouldn't be any because it's just clothes, and it's the people that wear them that can really show their personality. We don't need society to tell us what not to wear because of our gender. It's us that has to choose that.
To learn more about the events here at the McCord Museum, check out their website and their social media pages. For Outlook TV, this is Ali in Montreal.
It's time for some country music now. Patrick Masse and friends.
Whew, you know what they say in the famous lyrics, save a cowboy, ride me.
Is that how that goes?
No? Oh.
We're at the Patrick Masse and Friends event at the Yale Saloon, benefiting AIDS Vancouver. Patrick's brought his friends in the country music field. Let's go talk to them. And tonight you're doing a benefit for AIDS Vancouver, and you've got your friends who are performing?
Yes, it's going to be a great night. We've got Jenny Doyle, Angela Harris, Ben Glick, Drake Jensen, Jackson Hollow, and there's going to be a special appearance from Connie Smudge, so it's going to be a great night.
Over these high-class blues, you loving me like you do, it might be worth it to get my hands a little dirty.
Actually, Patrick sang at our last event on the Red Ribbon Gala in November and decided he wanted to do a bit more to help us out and actually open up information on HIV and AIDS to the country and Western community because they don't seem to talk a lot about it yet.
Oh my gosh, I have been with AIDS Vancouver as a proponent, an activist, an advisor, advocate for them for probably my whole drag career, 26 years.
I came out in 2002, so I've been at it for a long time, but it definitely is changing and getting better. There's still a lot of challenges, specifically in country.
Well, we are only able to offer groceries 2 days a week, every 2 weeks to our clients. And we're the only HIV service organization for food security in the Lower Mainland. And food is a major issue for people living with HIV.
A lot have been cuts in the HIV/AIDS, for not-for-profits with grants and government funding. So I just thought it was imperative to step up and do it for them. I think a lot of people forget the challenges that people that live with HIV and AIDS have because we're not seeing people, the pandemic we once did here especially in our part of the world. So it's just something to remind people that they're there and they need help.
I'm just so happy with Patrick Masse, and I support him so much. And the talent he's drawn here tonight is world caliber. So I'm just proud to be invited. Thank you so much for being here. Outlook TV, no one can do it better, honestly.
My baby's hand upon my name, and I don't know what you might like, but that's fast enough. It's fast enough for me.
Today it's very difficult sometimes to raise money and awareness because there's so many people out there asking for money today. So it's great when things like this happen and we all get together and work as a community. I mean, nothing feels any better than this.
And this is Sister Fancy Pants for Outlook TV at the Yale Saloon.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Outlook TV, but we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
See, we thank you so much.
And there are so many other opportunities to connect with us. You just go onto the internet, get that dial-up modem, and watch us or follow us on Facebook or Instagram or any other of those social things I know nothing about.
You are such a liar. You know everything about those.
I do. I have a phone in my pocket.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay.
Stay fabulous, Canada.